Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Today we will discuss the second mantra of Kaivalya Upanishad. This is a very, very important mantra, not only in Upanishad, everywhere or throughout the Upanishad, I will quote this mantra on and often. In spiritual life, throughout our journey, this mantra we should memorize, we should heartify, Hridayastha. What is that mantra? Tasmai sahovacha, tasmai sahovacha, pitamahascha, pitamahascha, shraddha, bhakti, dhyana yogad avaihi. This portion, Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga, Avaihi. You should memorize this small line. Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga, Avaihi. Together. Tasmai Sahovacha, Pitamahascha, Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana Yoga Avaihi. Tasmai, to him. Sa means Saha, he. Ha means verily. Uvacha, said. Pitamaha is grandsire. Cha means and. Shraddha means by. Means Shraddhat, you can say. By means of faith. Bhaktitaha, by means of devotion. Dhyanat, by means of meditation. So togetherly, Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga, by means of faith, devotion and meditation. Avaihi, to know. To him means to Ashvalayana Rishi, the student here. Who said? The teacher, who is like grandfather, Pitamaha. Brahmaji here, the creator of the whole universe. What he told, the very important things, keynotes of our spiritual life. Know this. This means this Atma Tattva, self-knowledge. Gain this knowledge. Abide in this knowledge. How? By the means of faith, devotion, and meditation. So, Brahmaji had some Manasaputra, mental children. Manasaputra. It's not, it's just Sankalpa Srishti. Brahmaji took the resolve and the children were created. Like Narada Muni, Sanak, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanaka. They are also mental children. See, mind is everything else. Suppose in case of marriage, think about arranged marriage or love marriage. If we consider now the arranged marriage of Indian system, the husband did not know the wife did not know the husband. When social, when they are admitted in a social institution called marriage, and parents and relatives and the priest introduced themselves that you are from today husband and wife, they started creating a mental thought process, manasika vritti, and wifehood and husbandhood is created. So there should not be any doubt that how Manasaputra is there. Everything is mental. When the vastu or the thing was in the shop, to see it, we have a manasika vritti, mental agitation that we have to acquire it. When we acquire it by any means, by purchasing, by begging, by stealing, then we start possessing, start put an ownership, and the samsara starts with these things. This is the science of everything. Nothing belongs to you. Just close your eyes. Sit straight. Pay attention to your breathing. No need of any prana. Just pay attention and start thinking what belongs to me. Why I say always, this is mine, this is me, this is mine. The house I always invite people come to my house. This is my car. This is my chair. Did we really create it? It was in the shop. Only by giving money, I have purchased it. And the money is not also all of. Money is also not created by me, it's a byproduct. Why we spend our whole time in me and mine? So, Brahmaji is the father of Daksha Prajapati. Leave your book and just listen. Close your eyes and listen. If you feel sleepy, then open your eyes and see and listen. What does it mean by Pitamaha over here? Grandshire means very loving. That is the beauty of Sanskrit literature. There is no connection, maybe, with the Brahmaji and Ashwalayana Rishi. That my grandfather's friend was Brahmaji. It's not like that. Pitamaha or grandfather means the symbol of lovingness, very loving. So, Guru is like grandfather. Pitamaha also signifies the meaning wise, jnana vriddha, very wise. He knows everything else. He is the creator of the universe. Who creates anything else? He or she knows the nook and corner of the thing. Who are the mason of the entire house? The mason knows the nook and corner. The engineer knows because they were verily engaged with the Srishti. Likewise, Brahmaji created this whole universe. Without knowledge, any creation is not possible. But when this systematic creation, each and everything else is so perfect, so there should be a knowledge of everything else. So Pitamaha means here very wise. Guru is like grandfather, supremely wise, supremely loving, very caring and tolerant. That is the significance of this word, Pitama. What he told with the love, Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana Yoga, Avaihi. Oh my son, oh my beloved student, acquire this knowledge with faith, love, and sincerity. How will it come? It will come through interest, creating, generating interest inside. With reverence, you must have to have a lot of reverence to the system, that Guru Parampara. Lot of reverence to your teacher. Lot of reverence to the scripture, means what he is talking. Without reverence, it's not possible. Reverence for the subject, And dhyana, another meaning is attunement with the teacher. So, this is verily required. When a teacher is properly approached by a deserving student, and when the student has placed at the feet of his teacher his great doubt on the transcendental theme, the teacher is duty bound to explain as best as he can the science of life, and thus relieve the student of his mental confusions. The part that teacher has to play is unavailable or to the outside and unenviable indeed. He has to address the student's intellect, awaken in him his powers of creative thinking, because Brahmaji is the creator of the whole universe, and guide his thoughts to the very utmost limits of thinking, and later on help him to reach the kingdom of the pure self. This process of self unfoldment along the guided path is to be walked by the student himself if he is to succeed in the subjective quest for truth. So, knowledge is a both way thing. Students' quest, students' thirst for knowledge should be there, and teachers' knowledge, love, and better communication skills should be there. Then only knowledge takes place. All these implications and technical difficulties in teaching the spiritual knowledge were known to the student Ashvalaya, because he himself was already a teacher. So, a teacher, when teaches, he or she can understand the shortcomings of the students. That's why a teacher scolds. Why it is not like that? Why you didn't do that? Why you are like that? It is not only scolding, it is teaching himself also. When he is established in this path or not. But when he or she becomes a student, he or she reminds all those things, that these shortcomings of my students was the interruption or hindrance in the knowledge process. So I should be perfect. or he or she reminds his own student life when they were, school student, college student, that I was like that. My teacher always used to mention that. Today I got a great opportunity to be a student. So I will be a perfect student. If a student is perfect and teacher is wise in that subject, then matter in acquiring knowledge, or when knowledge takes place in a just fraction of second. In the matchstick, if the gunpowder is, nicely heated in a sun rays, not a single bit of moisture is over there, then a small stroke is enough for the spark. So inside, gunpowder should be very fresh and well heated, well ready, well dried. Then this knowledge should be easily available. So, all these implications and technical difficulties in teaching spiritual knowledge were known to the student Ashwalayan, because he was a teacher. Thereafter, in the shortest number of words, the teacher here, Brahmaji, indicates the instrument of evolution and the technique of the self unfoldment in the very opening words of his answer. In other big Upanishad, we will find like Brihadaranya Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, Kathopanishad. Their teacher is first preparing the student. Here, teacher knows that the student is already prepared. So small words, small indication. I read some of the books of secretaries of CM or PM who were the personal secretary of any, suppose, chief minister for last 15 years, 20 years. They used to tell that there was such a cope-up because he knew me, I knew him. Only some indication of eyes used to indicate me what I have to do next, what he needs right now. Both are prepared. Thus, Brahma Vidya, the science of life, Atma Vigyan, this is called Atma Vigyan. That Atma Vigyan is to be understood according to the mantra by means of Shraddha, faith, devotion, bhakti, and meditation. So, what is Shraddha? In Tattva Bodha, Atma Bodha, we have studied. Shastreshu, Guru Vakyeshu, Vishwasaha, Shraddha. Tremendous faith, tremendous faith and trust in teacher and his words. Enough. Vishwas, Vishwas, Vishwas. Even by latest time avatara, Sri Ramakrishna, telling one of his students, touch me and take a resolve that I will never disbelieve hereafter. আমায় ছুঁয়ে বল আর অবিশ্বাস করবি না, because in Indian culture it is there that if we touch anyone else and speak lies, that person will die. It happened also many times. So there, the student of Sri Ramakrishna, they love their teacher more than their parents, even more than their gods, beloved gods and goddesses and deities and anyone else. Their everything was their teacher, Sri Ramakrishna. That's Sri Ramakrishna knew. That is why he used to tell, touch me and tell, you should not doubt, you should not disbelieve. Shraddha. In spiritual path, the 100% depends on the basis of Shraddha. I will explain more about Shraddha in our practical sense. Then, Bhakti. Bhakti is Gariyashi. Bhagavan Shankaracharya is telling that amongst all sadhana, devotion, love is the highest. Then on the same verse in Viveka Chudamani, maybe verse number 31, maybe, please check. There he told that Swaswarupa Anusandhanam is called Bhakti. I don't have that Vivek Chudamani book right now. So in tomorrow's class, I can refer you this verse number. But if you have any book with you, after the class, you should check it. Swaswarupa Anusandhanam Bhakti iti abhidhiyate or Bhakti iti uchyate. Finding ourselves, our own self, is the highest form of bhakti. And meditation, dhyana. So, first, faith has been described as the faculty of human intellect by which it can reflect and understand the deeper imports of the scriptural declaration. Like when we will start meditation, we will take one divine play of Bhagavan. Suppose one small incident. Why Bhagavan in his childhood started eating the clay, the soil. Balaramji reported to Jashodama, do you know? Today Krishna was eating the dust, the clay. Why? So it should be your dhyana one day. Bhagavan came to grace the devotees. Ramcharitmanas we are studying every Monday and Wednesday. There we will find that everything was pre-planned. Mata Sita will be stolen and Bhagavan should go to the forest leaving his kingdom. Bhagavan, when gets incarnated, not to spend his whole incarnation life sleeping on the cot and having pleasure and everything else. 100,000 years people are doing tapasya. They wanted to see Bhagavan in the human form and to grace them, bless them. So there should be any purpose. Bhagavan Sri Krishna stepped on the ground. That is his Charana Raja. A lot of insects are there inside the intestine, stomach. They also need Bhagavan's Charana Raja, feed dust. Bhagavan ate it because to graze the insects inside also. How graceful is Bhagavan? That should be our meditation. Prithvi, the arts, another name is Kshama, tolerance, compassion, forgiveness. Bhagavan knew what he has to do afterwards. A lot of things which apparently will appear as a cruel act. So Bhagavan has to inculcate more kshama, more compassion, more love, more care. Then feed dust is another terminology is Charana Raja, Raja. Bhagavan is the sum total of all sattva, the purest form of the pure. But with sattva, any work or action is not possible. We have to inculcate some rajogun inside, then only we can act. And Bhagavan ate this to inculcate raja. So everything is symbolical, even in Ram's life also. We misunderstand, and sometimes a lot of people amongst the students, they are against of Rama. They don't like Rama Avatara. It's their mental shortcomings. You know how I got transformed. I was very rational and disbeliever, disbelieving system inside about God, about our scripture, about our monkhood. Then, when I became older, started reading a lot of books. Then I saw whom I consider as God because I was the student of science. So, maximum scientists, they were believer. They have, even the Western scientists also, they studied Upanishad and they got inspiration. Then I slapped myself inside that how proud I am. कितना दम है मुझे. मैं ये ग्रेजुएट का स्टूडेंट हूँ, ग्रेजुएशन की, और विचार करने लगा भगवान नहीं है, ये सन्यास झूठ है, ये है. So when whom I consider as my ideals, they believe means they are more rational than me. I am having some shortcomings in my thought process. That's why I can't believe. That I have to work with. And I started doing that, and I ended up being a monk. So, whenever your shortcomings will come in any Leela of any Bhagavan, you should remember these things. That so great, great personalities whom we respect, love, whom we pay our reverence, their ideal is that God. So it's my shortcomings that I can't believe. So in that, meditation means it's a conjunction of our intellect and heart. Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana, Yoga, Avaihi. Hari Om Tat Sat.